Hello fellow gamer geeks, I'm Mark W and I have another unboxing video for you today. This one is a game by, as you can see here, Wham Games. Wham is a game designer who's been at it since the 70s, and I was a big fan of a lot of his games when I was a kid, especially Merchwig's Maze. That was probably my single most favorite game of his. It was a game sort of it was D&D branded, but it was, basically it was a fantasy board game romp. And one of the distinguishing characteristics of Wham Games is his cartoony character style and sense of humor. I only own one of his games today. That is this one, The Awful Green Things from Outer Space. I actually have a playthrough of that on my channel, and I'm playing with the co-host of my streams, Mr. Rob Bob, my son. But you can see he's got his kind of special cartoony style. It's a lot of fun. It really appealed to me as a kid especially, and I still appreciate Wham today. In fact, Wham's style inspired me because it showed you could have sort of a simple cartoony style. You didn't need to hire the best fantasy artists in the world or anything like that. And I used to try to make my own games, and I would just kind of doodle fun little cartoony characters. I never actually finished a good game, but this game here is called The Awful Green Things from Outer Space. Other great games he made included The Search for the Emperor's Treasure. He made that, and as well as some other board games that were included in issues of Dragon magazine, which, for those who are too young or not into the RPG scene, it was the company that made Dungeons and Dragons was TSR at the time, and they put out this regular, I don't know if it was every month or every other month, but this magazine that was all about basically geek gaming, especially D&D. Anyway, so yeah, Wham's always been a favorite of mine. He also made a bunch of games with these characters called Snits. Like there's Snit Smashing and Snit's Revenge. I don't remember all of them. Anyway, why don't we get to the unboxing? So let's talk about what this game is. It's called Moose Quest. And this is also worth mentioning Wham's first Kickstarter game. It sounds like he and his colleagues are sort of testing the waters for how successful they might be on Kickstarter campaigns, and will therefore put out more games if it goes well. One thing that was surprising to me was this was their first Kickstarter, and this was produced very smoothly and came into my hands, into my possessions, as you see right now, ahead of schedule. Usually, someone new to Kickstarter winds up taking months, longer than expected, if not years. So kudos to those guys for making it happen. Anyway, I got my trusty knife here. Let's take a look at Moose Quest. Now, Moose Quest is a game that I understand is kind of just, it's pretty simple and basic, and it involves moose. I don't really know much more. There are moose cards and dice, and it's been published before, it seems, because there's reviews of it on Board Game Geek. And they're kind of mixed reviews. A lot of Wham's designs are kind of old school, and they're not like, the kind of games that the board game literati tend to like these days. In other words, they're not like hardcore math puzzles or super well balanced. They're usually just a fun romp. You have a fun social time with your friends, rolling dice, drawing cards, making fun stuff happen. And all my goodies are just pouring out everywhere. When you get a Kickstarter, they usually have these extra levels of backing. Besides, you can usually buy the game or as well as extra goodies. So I got a few extra goodies. I don't remember what my level was called, but here is a little illustration. I guess it's a printing of Moose Quest artwork that is autographed. It's this real autograph by Mr. Wham. So that's pretty neat to me. Maybe I'll hang this on my wall where I have random goodies. Another thing is this coin. This is his self-portrait, by the way. This is what it looks like. It's very realistic, you can tell. And it says Wham Games 2025. And in the back we have Moose Quest number 60. Oh yeah, it was one of those things where they sort of, it's limited edition and you get a numbered item. That's cool. Maybe I'll attach this to my wall as well. Let's open it from this case actually and feel it. Touch and feel it. Or do I have to like really rip it open? No. Oh, there's just some tape on it, it looks like. Okay, I can just break the tape. Oop. Okay, it's that kind of firm plasticky tape, not like Scotch tape. Cool. This would be a fun coin to bring out anytime you need to flip a coin in the game, right? Yeah, it's very solid and metal. I think it's pretty neat. Okay, but onward to the other goodies and the game itself. I think this is the last goodie. Oh, this is that's right. So this thing is you know, kind of a mass produced, relatively speaking. You know, this is just a printed picture that's signed, but this is a hand doodle that Tom Wham specifically made, you know, individually. It's coming back to me now. Every time I back something on Kickstarter or back, you know, whatever backing system, I always forget all the goodies I ordered. So I have to, I kind of like it because once it comes time months later to actually open my package, I get to explore all the fun stuff. All right, this is not going to come out easily without my banging up the corner, so I'll worry about that another time. Maybe I'll just leave it in this plastic. But here we go. I have an original doodle by Tom Wham, and it's got his initials. And obviously, it's a little moose dude. I like this. Yeah, he's got, you know, it's got a cute cartoony style. And again, it appealed to me as a kid, and I imitated it so much. I tried to make my own Tom Wham style games. And here is what we're all here for. Moose Quest. Ta-da! You can see it's a pretty compact game. That's nice. You know, it's not going to take up a huge amount of space on my game shelf. I don't know if that matters to some of you, but it matters to me. So here it says on the bottom, a silly card and dice game that teaches you all about natural history. Not. We still have not humor going on. All right, that's it. Moose Quest. On the side, we have a wizard moose. Another Tom Wham creation. Find more at tomwham.games. What I like about his stuff is also kind of very indie, right? I was going to say amateurish, but I would say it's professionally made, but it has an indie, you know, he's not working for Hasbro here, right? He's just doing his own thing. You know, it's kind of whimsically designed. He just tries to have fun. Anyway, here we go. This is on the bottom of the box. You must navigate your moose herd along the tortuous lands, past rock slides, park rangers, predators, and other hazards using a push-your-luck system. Your herd will shrink and grow along the way. When one player's herd finally crosses the green pastures in one of the moose lands, the game ends and players total the values of their herds and the lands they have crossed to see who wins. All right, and we have a little Tom Wham Games logo here. Copyright 2025 Tom Wham Games, all rights reserved. And how do we open this exactly? All right, oh, this is kind of a neat box. Oh, this magnetic? I think it might be like a magnetic snap. Yeah, I like that a lot. This is great. I like a compact box. You know, sometimes I buy games and they're like so big and they have these spacers in it just to like fill out the space. And I like keeping the original boxes, but not they have all this empty air essentially taking up space on my shelf. But not this game. It looks like it can fit in the tiniest little gap in my shelf. You know, it's smaller than my hand, as you can see. Anyway, looking inside, onward to the green pastures. Moose Quest. Here's our manual. It says a silly card and dice game that teaches you all about natural history, not a game for 2 to 6 players. Honestly, I think it would be kind of fun if he did manage to make it teach real lessons about history, but that's probably not his style. He just hear about the fun and humor mostly. Maybe he does try to do historical stuff sometimes. I don't know every game of it. Anyway, I'm not going to read the whole manual here, but we can flip through a little bit. Play a moose hap. I guess that's like a mishap. Your sequence of play is turn up the top card, either feed or move. So you have a decision to make, feed or move. Play a moose hap card. Feeding. Moving. Setting aside a moose symbol. Ending your turn by choice. Ending your turn by failure. Battle. All right, we got battling moose. There are predators. These include the Smilodon, grizzly bears, cougars, wolves, and wild dogs. Like the mooses. Oh, do we call them mooses in this game instead of moose? That's funny. All right, flip through it a little more, and then we'll get to the cards and stuff. Moose apps, I guess, are like your special cards that you play on each other, maybe. I'm just kind of guessing. Don't want to spend time reading through the whole manual. So it's just an educated guess. This guy looks very similar to the one that was drawn for me. But he looks like he has a little bit of sort of determination on his face. The eyebrows are really, it's kind of amazing, you know, with such simple cartoony artwork. And you see this in comic strips too. You know, they just make such a little minimal touch, and it sort of somehow makes the cartoon a lot more expressive. This guy looks like determined, or maybe even a little angry or intense. But my guy here that he personally drew for me, he looks dopey a little bit. Perhaps he's cross-eyed. Yeah, he looks cross-eyed to me. All right. So we don't need to go through every page of this manual. That's enough of that, probably. Let's take a look at what else we got. We got some dice. Yeah, these are special dice. It's not ordinary dice. I don't know if they vary that much from standard dice, but there are definitely moose on some of the faces. We have black and white dice. It looks like the black dice might be your standard six-sided dice with 1 to 6. Yeah, they seem to be that. And these moose dice are white dice with sort of copperish pips. And it looks like instead of a 1, we have a moose. So you probably could play this game with any ordinary dice. But hey, the moose adds extra flavor to your very moosey game. And we have a bunch of cards. And that's all you got. I will open it up and take a quick peek at the different cards. I think there are multiple decks. We have a moose deck and a moose... Well, I don't know. We'll see. At the bottom, what do we have here? All right, I have set 60 out of 70, at least of the, I guess, personally signed ones. I don't know if there's only 70 sets altogether. But 70 of, I guess, these limited edition ones. That seems to match the 60 on, what was it, the coin? Yeah, the coin has a 62. See right there. All right, let's crack open the cards and take a look. What have we here? And so we have the moose deck. You can see the different colors seem to indicate maybe 3 different decks. The moose deck is this sort of tannish color. We have the moose lands. And lastly, we have the moose haps. Moose haps, obviously a pun on mishaps. The moose deck. I guess every moose you have in your herd has an individual character, like maybe they each have their own artwork and name and perhaps ability. Oh, okay, it looks like they're not unique. That's not a bad thing. I'm just clarifying my observation. Here we have a muscle moose. Vain but useful in battle. Oh, that's the one that I was saying looked kind of determined in the manual. Meanwhile, our moose master is different. He's looking sort of upward. He's looking to the future, perhaps, or looking in the distance. He's the leader. Yeah, all right. I kind of starting to see a pattern. The number at the top might be like their strength or something like that. And perhaps all of the cards of the same numeric value are the same. Like maybe they have the same name and artwork. All these muscle moose. But there is no number 5. It looks like we got Moose Mauler here. Steadfast, but not an intellect. Got a bunch more of these guys. Next, we're at number 1, the Moose Mage. Yeah, these ones actually seem to have a power. The other ones didn't really. They just had a description. Moose Mage may cast 1 spell once per round. Re-roll. If you don't like a dice roll, you You may pick up all the dice that you rolled and try again. You must keep this result. Summon skunks before a battle. Roll a die. If you roll an even number, the skunks frighten the predators away. No battle. All right. And it kind of reminds me of some of the funny magic and effects that you would encounter in the game Mertwig's Maze. I would love to get my hands on a copy of Mertwig's Maze again. And by the way, on Wham Games, I think they are, I think I mentioned this, but they're using this first Kickstarter as sort of a litmus test for how much they can sell and if they can produce the games and whatnot. And I'm hoping they'll, reproduce some of the great classics like Mertwig's Maze. But I don't know. The rights might not be owned by him for all I know. I guess we'll find out sometime. Anyway, here's Mild Moose. An everyday type moose. He's number 3 at the top. I assume we got a bunch of him, yep. Number 1, Moose Mess. Moose Mess? So this is a 1, and so is the Moose Mage, but the Moose Mage has a star and the power. Moose Mess doesn't seem to have any power, but it does have the flavor text that says, fraught with dilemmas way beyond its own or our comprehension. So it's a very I don't know if it's just anxious or philosophical moose. One of those, perhaps both, right? He's wondering about his place in the universe, maybe. Why am I a moose? Here is a moose mendicant. Is it a beggar? Huh. No, that has a number of 2. And, again, I didn't really want to get too into the mechanics by reading the rules entirely, so I don't exactly know what the numbers mean, but it probably has something to do with strength or power. Here we have a moose medium. Oh, look at this. Moose medium. When your herd moves, you may choose to use the power of the medium to look at 2 land cards, draw 1 additional card, and choose the one you want to travel. Okay, so they they can choose the better of the 2. And some games use that sort of a mechanic for predicting the future. I immediately think of the character, the prophetess from Talisman, has a very similar mechanic. You also get to decide if the card not chosen goes face down on the bottom of the deck, or on the top of the deck, or the bottom. Oh, that's actually a neat touch to this sort of mechanic. You don't usually see that one. So you can say, do I want to throw this out entirely or make it come up next, basically. Note, when use your turn will end after the attempt, either by failure or by choice if successful. All right, so we got a bunch of these moose medium, 3 of them exactly. Windy moose. This one's blowing wind. They have a 2, whatever that number is, and 2 stars. May use 1 power once per round. Thunderstorms. You can negate the effect of a thunderstorm card played against your herd. We have a thunderstorm in real life right now going on. I'm hearing it outside my window. Snowstorm. Before a battle, roll a die. If you roll an even number, swirling snow blinds the predators. No battle. That's kind of like the other thing we saw. Summoning the skunks that the wizard has. Okay. Well, there's only 1 windy moose. They're rare. Moose mom. No moms, no herd. Okay, they are 5, and they have a star, and you can see they have very beautiful eyelashes in that classic cartoony style of eyelashes mean girl or female. At least they don't have lipstick. And we got a whole bunch of these moose moms. Wow. The rest of the deck might be moose moms. Yeah, look at that. Wow. A lot of moose moms. Okay. And that's all the moose. Shall we take a look at the moose lands? Moose Land 2. Timeless Glen. Green Pastures. I think that's where you're trying to go to win the game, it said, right? Game ends when crossed. Before play begins, place this card face down on the moose. On the bottom of the Moose Lands deck. So, okay, so it's the last card. I wonder if it's always the last card, or can the deck get shuffled midway or something? Gentle Glade. I do have a minor complaint here. This is very, very minor. Doesn't really matter, but it would be cool if there was a little doodle of each of these lands. But you know what? They probably wouldn't be very interesting. It would be like You know, here's a pasture. Here's a wildlife preserve. Add 1 moose if crossed on an even number. Peaceful Valley. Sun Dog Trail. Gentle Glade. I think we already had a Gentle Glade, right? Dread Marsh. There's quicksand here. Ah. Lose 1 moose if crossed on an odd number. Hidden Valley. Beaver Valley. River Crossing Beaver Dam. River Crossing Log Bridge. Some of look like it's kind of neat. The dangerous ones, it look like they have a very muddy or bloody, perhaps, number on them. I don't know what the number means, but that's a sign that it's negative. Also, the red text is another sign, I suppose. Large of Lake Labarge. Marge of Lake Labarge. Large Marge. Mud Flats. Lupine Meadow. Black Forest. The Farm Hunters. Random moose shot and kill. Oh, you got hunters shooting. Royal Forest Poachers. Oh no. Hunters and poachers. And bears. Oh my. Deep Bear Ridge. Sorry, I'm far too amused by that. Grizzly bears attack herd. The Park Rangers. River Crossing Mud Ford. Rocky Mount. Cougars attack herd. Rock Slide. Big Bad Boulder. Danger Pass. The Volcano. River Crossing Dead Moose Swim. Wolf Domain. Peopleburg Traffic. Random moose struck down by truck. Oh. The Cliff of Doom. Narrow Ledge. Lose a moose if crossed on an odd number. So I don't know what the whole crossed on an odd number means. You know, obviously I didn't read the whole manual, but I assume that means it's something that probably happens roughly half the time. Anytime something says an odd number or an even number. Could just be a roll of die, but we'll see when we play the game one day. Maybe I'll play it on this channel even. Interstate Highway 666. Oh, it's a very satanic highway. Moose Hap. Here are the Moose Hap cards. Moose Hatchery. What? The moose grow from eggs? That's the funniest thing so far. Here's another Moose Hatchery. I like that there's different art for each one, even though it's the same card. You look, you got the little egg with the eyeballs. And I guess the moose is confused. Moose Hatchery. Again, the moose is sitting on an egg. Moose Hatchery. Hoof and moose disease. Hazardous human hunters. Uh-oh. Magic moose grasp. Loco weed. If the magic moose grass was not enough, we also have loco weed. Yuck internal worm. Ooh. Magic moose wings. Moose armor. All right. I like to arm my moose. Or mooses. Play now on a moose in your herd. Moose blessing. Girdle of moose power. That seems like a call out to D&D. It's like, or a call back to D&D. You often have like these girdles of, I don't know, giant strength or something. Flash flood. Snowstorm. Thunderstorm. Oh, that one is in color, and the rest of these moose haps are not. Just an observation. All right, huge, enormous trap. Wolves attack herd. Wolves attack herd again. Magic moose grass again. Magic moose for we gotta get enough magic moose grass for everybody. Gotta share with the herd, right? Wolves attack herd. I guess these are all the duplicates now. Actually, look, here's a new one. Grizzly bears attack herd. Grizzly bears attack herd. Very large grizzly bears attack herd. So I guess the star number indicates their like combat strength or something. So these grizzly bears have 5 stars, and the very large ones have 6. Wild dogs attack herd. They only have 3, so they're much weaker than the grizzly bears. Smilodon attack herd. They have 6. Woolly mammoth, the very last one. Oh, look at that. The woolly mammoth who thinks itself a moose joins your herd. Nice. It counts as a moose for battles, hazards, and scoring. Adds to leadership 1 and point value 8. Moose app. Keep till use absolutely perfect day. Perfect. Get it? They didn't spell it perfectly, but it is a perfect day. And that is the last of the moose half, and that's pretty much everything. Yeah. So that is Moose Quest as a quick recap of all the stuff that I got with my level of backing. I should have looked up ahead of time what mine was called, but I did not get the most basic one. I got one that, you know, involves contributing more money, but you get extra goodies. And I like supporting the cause. So we got this Moose Quest printed cover art that is signed. And I got the custom illustration. The only one of these in the world. I think that's the idea. I'm sure there are others that are similar in style, but this one is mine. That also has his signature, or his initials at least. We got this fancy coin. This is quite heavy and solid. It's pretty neat. Moose Quest. Number 60. And we've got Tom Wham's self-portrait on the other side. This is the head side, I guess. We got these 6 dice that you can use for the game. The black look like generic dice, and the white have a moose instead of the 1. And we have the main game itself with which again, I'm pretty happy with the compact and neat box with this magnetically attaching flap. It's pretty cool. And again, I appreciate a compact box that doesn't artificially take up extra space on my shelf. We have it signed 60 out of 70 by Tom Wham. And that's pretty much it. The cards too, and the manual. And yeah, maybe I'll play it on the channel soon. I'm looking forward to more Tom Wham games on Kickstarter. We'll see what he puts out. And that's all I got for today. So see you guys later. Take care.